Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Excellencies, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. As this year marks the 20th anniversary of Security Council Resolution 1325, we thank the government of Vietnam for organizing this timely event. Excellencies, the sexual violence that was inflicted on 200,000 of our women and girls during our War of Liberation in 1971, and the traumatic experience that our women had to endure at that time encourage us to create a safe, secure, and enabling environment for women to realize their inherent potentials. Immediately after our independence, our father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, placed women at the heart of our development agenda. His able daughter, Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, ensured justice for those horrendous crimes, recognized those victims as war heroes, and ensured further development and social, economic, and political inclusion of women. Our women have not only been victims of war, they also actively participated in our War of Liberation. Since independence, our women's contributions to our nation-building efforts have been exemplary. The government has prioritized their empowerment through education and integrating them into economic activities, and thereby enabling them to perform non-traditional roles beyond their households. Women in Bangladesh are now active agents of our socio-economic changes and development initiatives. Their role, particularly in disaster management, rescue and recovery, has been noteworthy. We have also pioneered women's participation in peacekeeping. In the current context, women play essential preventive role in addressing emerging security threats, including violent extremism. We recognize women's role in influencing community and family values and identifying early signs of radicalism, and encourage their leadership at the community, national, and international levels. Our strong faith in the ability of women as the agents of peace has been complemented by laws and regulations and affirmative actions program. It is our national experience that inspired us to promote the adoption of the Resolution 1325 in 2000 during our membership to the Security Council. We have last year launched our first ever National Action Plan, NAP, on Women, Peace and Security 2019 through 22. Excellencies, globally, Bangladesh has been an active player in the implementation of Women, Peace and Security agenda. In Peace Building Commission, we played a critical role in the adoption and implementation of PBC's gender strategy. Although representation of women in peacekeeping and peacemaking has remained very low, around 6% in mediation, 13% in negotiations, we have deployed 17% female military staff officers and UN military observers following Secretary General's call for enhanced participation of female peacekeepers. Despite progress in many fronts, there are some challenges. Sustainable financing remains an issue. Although the Secretary General made a commitment to allocating at least 15% of UN-managed funds to support peace-building focusing women, the funding scenario remains disappointing. This trend must be reversed when we all should work to ensure financial suitability of WPS agenda. Excellencies, I would like to make a few specific points in this regard. First, in the post-conflict humanitarian settings, efforts must be made for ensuring a gender-responsive approach, recognizing women's increased role in recovery and rebuilding efforts. Second, women's meaningful participation through education, training, and capacity building should be a priority. UN agencies and international partners need to support governments in their women's development and empowerment efforts. Third, ensuring justice and accountability for conflict-related sexual violence is an important precondition for reconciliation in a conflict-affected country. In cases where the state concerned is unwilling or unable to ensure justice, the international community should take the responsibility. Fourth, women's participation in peacekeeping needs to be increased. In addition, gender perspective should be made an integral part of missions drawdown and transition. Fifth, sufficient budgetary provisions need to be allocated in peacekeeping missions to address gender dimension properly. And finally, increased and sustained financial provisions are also critical for effective implementation of WPS agenda. To this end, all should be forthcoming in making necessary investment to advance this issue. Excellencies, this year we are observing the 20th anniversary of WPS agenda. We are also celebrating the 75th anniversary of the UN and 25th anniversary of Beijing Platform of Action, and also conducting the review of the UN's peace-building architecture. We must seize these occasions and recommit to working together to ensure full, equal, and meaningful participation of women in building and sustaining peace. I thank you. Joy Bangla, Joy Bangabandhu.